2020, COVID. So maybe just to set the scene, we pivoted. I mean, I say we, you pivoted from what had always been obviously an in-person event. And you must have, I mean, I've never really talked to you about this. You must have thought, are we going to do it? But you pivoted and we did it online. We did the first virtual Global Innovation Forum, which, you know, I mean, that's a miracle of innovation in itself, isn't it? But talk about...
We had the agenda ready.
Yeah.
We just had the whole thing completed.
Yeah.
And then the week after, the whole world closed.
Oh.
And I had a friend calling me 2 weeks before that, saying, are you worried about this COVID thing happening in Asia? And I was like, yes, we do have a lot of people coming from Asia. And yes, it's a terrible situation over there, but that's still quite far away. We're still quite stable because
we'd seen it before, right?
Yeah.
Bird flu and
exactly.
things like that.
And I was like, not really. I think it would just be over by November. That's the other thing I said. It's still, this is February.
Yeah.
And I'm like, November is a long time from then. And then we confirmed the agenda the way it was meant to be. Everybody confirmed. Nobody was worried about that. And then the whole world closed. And I think it took like 2 weeks to kind of get out of this situation of huge panic of what's going on right now. And we were like, yes, let's just do it. Let's just adapt. We dropped some of the speakers, unfortunately, which didn't make sense in an online environment.
Yeah.
They were amazing in an in-person setting, but they were very understanding of the situation. We got some new people in, and we were like, let's look at this as an opportunity. This is one of the things we've always been discussing. It's a way to bring people that would never actually confirm a trip to London 8 months in advance because they're hugely super busy. One of those people is Ivy Ross, VP of Hardware Design at Google, who has been one of those amazing people we've collaborated with ever since on several occasions, all thanks to COVID, just because we could easily get in her schedule and just set something without disrupting her whole travel arrangement, which you can imagine is, I guess, incredibly busy. And we've been collaborating ever since. She's been super nice with us as a team, and I'm thankful for that. One of the many type of collaborations we've had because of this whole COVID situation.
Well, that leads very nicely to this tip, right? Number 7, which is about asking the question, who are we missing? I think it's the single most powerful question that we've ever had put to us at GIF, but it's about inclusive, diverse innovation. And there was so many threads through that. First of all, we were all stuck in our bubbles, right? We couldn't have been less inclusive in our environments. We weren't traveling, you know, and I remember distinctly there was a sense that many leaders, many people in different walks of life were lacking an empathy with what was going on, whether it was on the front lines, whether it was on people who didn't have sort of large houses or room to roam. So to me, this was very, very timely. I remember Eric Tashbana of Amazon, he sort of talked about diverse teams. So as an input, how do you get sort of, who are you missing from your team? How do you get diverse teams, people who think differently, have different perspectives? And actually that's statistically proven to produce better quality of ideas and innovation. But the person who posed the question, who we should credit, is Benjamin Evans, who was Airbnb, I think he's now PayPal. And he was looking after sort of diversity and inclusivity at the time. And it just struck home, who are we missing? 4 words that were so potent in this sort of environment, in this world of what could we, who should we be including when it comes to innovation? Who are we missing out? And Sam Lahif from P&G, I had a conversation with her, I remember, and she sort of opened our eyes to the possibility. 15% of the world's population live with a disability of some sort. So, I mean, again, how often are we thinking about those sorts of people? How often are we thinking to people other than ourselves, other than the sort of world we know when we come to innovate? And what is that opportunity? That's a market, you know, let's put it in just cold financial terms, right? You're missing out on serving a market. And I don't know whether it's apocryphal or not, but there was always the story that Nike didn't do sports gear for women until they finally got some women on the board who said, hold on, you're missing 50% of the population. So again, there's so often the challenge is not the one we think it is, but it's actually that it's the problem that we haven't seen. It's the thing that we haven't sort of observed or had the insight to understand really is a problem. So again, I think as we move forward with greater positivity, this has been such a theme that has come back now every year, and you've done a brilliant job in bringing in lots of different speakers to give us new angles on inclusivity and diversity, and how it's not just a buzzword, but it actually has a material impact on innovation.
Yeah, and I think GIF has diversity, and it's at the core of the event. It's there. It's kind of one of the foundational values that we have there. So that's why it's so important.
Yeah.
I mean, we're obviously bringing very diverse audience of people, but on the other hand, you want to bring those subjects and those themes that are not so obvious. You want to make people think and have that thinking. And you're right, COVID is a huge topic here. And I think we made this intentional decision of, yes, if we're doing this thing and borders don't matter now, we're doing like 1/3 people from Asia, 1/3 people from Europe, we have US, we have people from Africa joining us. It's like it opened this door of opportunities of making a more complicated, more diverse, more interesting, more vivid agenda and program, bringing all those different types of people together, which you normally might have a challenge doing in an in-person setting. And it has set the beginning of our Spark series, which we're doing now. Even this thing here, I mean, it feels so natural now doing it, just because of all those years of spending of recording and doing something in front of our computers. It feels natural, and it's just opened doors to many, many different ways of doing stuff that we've kind of transitioned to the in-person event as well.
Yeah, well, two aphorisms there. So never let a crisis go to waste, which you didn't, and necessity is the mother of invention, which you did. So, kudos.